So I just jumped around to like 4 different dealerships. They all look like this. Check this out.
Look at all these Tellurides we have here, all the way down, just to give you an idea of how large this lot is. It's all the Kias parked in the back of this lot, just packed back here. But does that mean better deals for you? Well, probably not great deals, just average deals. You got dealerships like this Mazda dealer, and this is kind of what it looks like everywhere. And specifically, this Mazda lot is just the main lot. Let's go see if they have overflow. This is the overflow Mazda lot, so this is all the cars that won't fit in their main lot. GM dealer right here, and as you can see, oh man, it's just packed with trucks. All the way along this backside, there's just hundreds of 1500s, 2500s. And this is what it looks like at Ford. You've got all these dually Super Duties right here, all of these F-150s on the lot, F-150s everywhere, all the way around this corner. It's a good sight to see. I think this is great for potential buyers, anybody who's looking for a truck here soon. I think there's gonna be deals to be had, not crazy deals, but a lot better than we've seen the past few years. Here's another row of Super Duties.
Now, despite all of that, all these dealerships being essentially full, I actually don't think prices are gonna get too much lower. In fact, I think between now and probably December, January might be the best time for someone to look to buy a new car if you have good credit. The used market is actually in worse shape right now than the new market. I'm going to show you a couple examples. I've been in the search for a used car myself. Affordability to me is an issue at the top end, at the new market, and the bottom end, for the used market. But we're going to go through each one. And I actually think that buying a new car right now is probably, or could be, depending on your situation, a better deal between now and January than what you might find in the used market. For those of you who don't know, Cox Automotive has access to Kelley Blue Book, Auto Trader, all sorts of data in the industry. So now this interview with Jonathan was it was really long. It was like over an hour. So I'm just going to show you a couple bits and pieces just to try to back up what I'm saying about buying a new car before we jump into the numbers.
New vehicle prices have come down about a percentage point year over year. So they've been deflationary over the last year. But when you drill into the data, what you actually see is the vehicle is not getting cheaper. The MSRPs are up year over year. The invoices are up even more than the MSRPs. So the key difference has been discounting has returned, but we're not seeing the same level of discounting we had pre-pandemic. Back then, the average, what consumer paid versus MSRP was about 6%. We're at roughly 3%. New vehicle inventories have actually declined modestly in the last couple of months, and days supply has been sticking to 80 days supply for most of this year. And we seem to be establishing a new normal kind of at that level, which suggests that discounting may not quickly go back to the 6% that we once had.
That's not what I want to hear. That's not what you want to hear. But it's the reality. And he does go on to say a couple other things here, specifically about between November and December probably being better times for discounts on new cars. So between now and tax season next year, it's probably not going to be a terrible time to buy a new car. You're going to find the model you want. There's going to be inventory, and you're going to see moderate discounts. Like he said, 3%. We're not going to be seeing that like 6% like we used to see back in 2019. That's what I would love to see. That's what I got used to. I just don't think we're gonna see that. Now let's hit used cars first. So this is from cargurus.com. If you go to research and price trends, once you get to this website, it'll take you to this page where it shows you the overall used car price trends. But what I wanted to show you on this page is how you can potentially research like your specific make and model that you're interested in. I have an old 2008 Toyota Sequoia, and I'm looking to get the same exact thing used, but maybe get one with 100,000 or 200,000 less miles. It just has a little more life left in it than I feel like mine has. Doesn't seem like this is going to be a good plan for me on the Sequoia, and I'll show you why. So the best way you can do this, just scroll down on this page. We'll take my example. I want to look at Toyota. I'm just going to click Toyota, scroll down again, and I'm going to find the Sequoia right here. When you click it again, it will show you the same chart here. The Toyota Sequoia is 9% So just in the last 30 days, it's 9% over what it was 30 days ago. Again, set this back to a date like 2020. This black line on the Car Gurus Index says it's, we're 30% over the start date. But specifically for Toyota Sequoias, they're 94.6% over their start date. So for me to look at a used Sequoia right now, it actually doesn't make a lot of sense. I might as well just hang on to mine and wait the market out if I'm looking at used. Same thing goes for this 4Runner. If you look at a 4Runner, and it's very similar, the average index for all cars is about 30% over what it was, but 4Runners are 34.5%. So right now, 4Runners are going up in price because that 2025 is coming out and everybody thinks that they have to get a 2024 or older. And an easy way for you to prove this out is just head to a website like cars.com, search for the vehicle you're interested in. For me, here I am. This is a 10-year-old newer Sequoia than what I've got. It says it's $39,000 with 66,000 miles. And this one is 7 years old. In my case, this is largely driven from the fact that new Sequoias cost so much. I just did a quick search on the original MSRP for that exact car, a 2019 Toyota Sequoia SR5. It was $49,000 roughly, and that white one really didn't have a lot of options. It was pretty much a base SR5. So consider that has only dropped $10,000 in 7 years, and it has almost 70,000 miles on the car. Is it worth it? Probably not right now. Now compare that to this deal here, like this 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Edition. It's $42,000. The MSRP says 57, which you know that the MSRP is probably not 57. It is just the 2.7 liter Turbo Max. But another thing you can pay attention to when you're looking for these deals, a good test to see if you're really getting a good deal is to look at this price history. And occasionally you will see this where they jack it up $4,000. And then the next day they will reduce it $4,000 and then reduce it another $3,000 so that it really feels like to the consumer that you're getting some screaming deal. And they're probably just about where Jonathan said they are, at like a 3% below MSRP. So anyway, it's still a better deal in my opinion than some of the used trucks. I'm going to show you some used trucks that cost more than this one. And these are all 4-wheel drive, by the way. So at the top here, here's that 2024 GMC Sierra Elevation for $42,000. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, there's one 9,530 miles, and it's not even a full crew cab, a double cab, I guess you could call it. That's $43,000. Costs more and it's used. 11,000 miles on this red one, $44,000. Same thing down here, 13,000 miles, $44,000. So you can see that in a lot of cases, if you just broaden your search to, like countrywide search, you'll start to see that some of these dealerships in Texas, Florida, other areas are actually offering a lot better deals than like what I have here in Colorado. And many of the used cars cost more than the new cars right now. So just pay attention. It's all going to be, make model dependent. And I don't know what the heck is going on with this new 2024 Tundra SR5, but it says it's $34,000, has an $18,000 price drop. Maybe they just have 100 of them on their lot because of all the issues, and it's been really tough to sell Tundras lately. When you look at the price history down there in this guy, it goes from October, which looks like they listed it 153 days ago, but it's total of $20,000 in price reduction. I don't know. Maybe they're just struggling to sell it because of the build date, and everybody's looking for a build date past May because of the bearing issue and yada, yada. And looking at these other 2024 Tundras on here, they're right around $47,000 at the lowest end, but they do have prices dropping and better incentives. And the same thing goes for the 4Runner. I just went and looked at some of these used ones the other day. 60,000 miles, they still want $33,400. And these are the cheapest ones. They're sorted by price, so they just go up from here. As you can see, the mileage might get a little lower, but gosh, 48,000 miles, 35,000. I mean, you can pick up a brand new one, probably an SR5 brand new for around 43 if you hunt. So yeah, just pay attention and be mindful that a lot of these dealerships are not going to discount certain used models because used inventory is a lot tighter than new right now. And I think we're going to start to see this over the next couple months. So new vehicles from now until probably January are going to start looking like this across the board, at least those that have inventory. The 24 Tundra's 1.99% for 48 months. Even the 2025 Tundra, 2.99% for 48 months. This is just on the website. This isn't including any of the other incentives that dealers might give you. Same thing over at General Motors, $369 a month lease, 36 months, or 1.9 APR for 48 months with the 6.2. Of course, you'd have to have AFM and lifter love there. 2024 Sierra, 5.3, 0%. So there's deals everywhere. And what they're going to do, I think these manufacturers are going to start giving you more incentives with interest rates. Maybe a little bit off. They're going to just really ride that line, but I don't think you're going to see pricing like we saw back in 2019. If you're holding out on that, man, other than maybe Ram, maybe you'll get something like that with Stellantis products. I don't think you're going to see it with General Motors, Ford, other manufacturers. You're just going to see very close to the same pricing what we see now and more incentives. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think the market's really going to implode and crash like most people think it is? I don't think it is. I think as long as these middle to upper middle class buyers are spending $700 to $1,500 a month on these vehicles and they can afford it, I don't think anything's going to change. Thanks for watching. Till next time.